Hi guys, it's Howard again. I was talking to a long-term friend the other day about my diminishing number of interesting cameras to review. He suggested that although I have concentrated on rangefinder cameras, which I must admit I do find more interesting than SLRs, the story of my Nikon F, received brand new back in 1968, he felt deserved a run. So here it goes. The story is a bit convoluted. 2 years earlier, in 1966, I had fallen in love with a second-hand Zeiss Contarex bullseye camera with the f2 planar lens. It was living in the front window of Rosier's camera store in Camberwell, a suburb of Melbourne, and I succumbed and bought it on a 12-month hire purchase plan. It was a stunning camera, but every accessory for it cost an arm and a leg, and as it had an exclusive lens mount, any of the other special Zeiss lenses available for it were simply priced out of reach. I would have settled for a 2-time teleconverter, but I can't imagine Zeiss ever making one of those. After a while I became a bit disillusioned, but a friend of mine had the answer. A mate of his, who had a camera shop in Melbourne, was desperate for a Contarex bullseye and had plenty of new Nikon F cameras in stock. So I traded my second-hand bullseye for a sparkling new Nikon F with a 50mm f1.4 lens. This camera. I bought and fitted the Ftn top sometime later. It's hard to think of a more famous camera model. Virtually all the photos taken during the Vietnam War were taken with these. They coped all the mud, the rain, the slush, and just kept working. Weighing in at 1.2 kilograms with the Ftn finder on it, it's built like a tank. Chromed brass everywhere. The bullseyes are worth a fortune now, but I don't regret my decision. I got my 2-time teleconverter for the Nikon, gradually a few accessories and other lenses. All my early family photos were taken on this camera. Would I buy one now? Probably not. Unless you're planning to build up a professional system based around a Nikon F, which no one these days would do, you are far better off with a simpler camera such as a Nikomat. I've seen a few video reviews of Nikomat cameras by YouTubers who were really impressed by the build quality, but have never handled an F. They seem to assume that the F is the next level in build quality, almost magical. I have to disagree. Owning both, I believe the build quality and durability of my Nikomat Ftn, 1.15 kilograms, is very close to the F. Where the F has the edge is in its versatility. It's the F's ability to fit motor drives, 250-shot backs, and a choice of many different focusing screens, eyepieces, prisms, viewfinders, also the amazing range of lenses. These are all just part of the incredible range of items that made up the Nikon F system. This is what sets the F apart. Okay, let's have a good look at it. Well, as I say, it's 1.2 kilograms as it sits here today. And if you're going to carry it around, you're going to need a nice wide strap because it'll grind you down. All right, working from the front, we've got a self-timer. Now it's got a range of settings. I won't take it all the way around, but it's got various positions. They're not marked, but from about 4 per second up to about 12. So set it where you need it. Press the button there, and it'll shoot the camera. You've got the depth of field preview based on, hopefully you can see that stopping down as I press it. And around here is the button to release the lens. So to take the lens out, you simply push it in, turn it clockwise, and it comes out. And there's the famous Nikon mount and the mirror. It's got a mirror lock-up mechanism around on the side here. So that's the only other thing on the front. I'll just put the lens back. It's best to line the black line up there with the black dot there, and with the black dot It's a bit awkward doing it from here. There we go. So black dots all lined up, then you just twist into place, and then you move the aperture ring from one side to the other to set the meter. And you'll see here, I think you can see, it says 1.2, 2.8, 5.6, and you'll see the little red line is just forward of the 1.2 because this is a 1.4 lens, of course. Okay, if we go around to the top, over on the left we've got the rewind knob with a nice handle, and around it is a mount for a unit to take a flash. As you can see, there's no hot shoe on top, so there was a device that slid on over this, and it had a hot shoe connector up to it, so it was effectively a hot shoe that fitted over the top of the rewind knob. We've got the Ftn finder on the top here with a little window here. This is going to be hard to see, perhaps not. There's a little arrow and a little circle, and the idea is to get the arrow over the circle by manipulating the aperture and speed, and then you've got the correct exposure. It's center weighted, and unlike a lot of cameras, the viewfinder in this is 100%, so what you see is exactly what you get. A lot of other cameras, including the Nikomat, it's about 92, 93%, but these were actually 100%. To turn the metering on, there's this little button on the side. This pops up and it's on. As you can see, it's red, a little red band there, and to turn it off, you push it down. We've got the ASA ring around the top. It goes everywhere from, what do we got, 5 through to 6400. Bit optimistic, but anyhow, so, and there's, you can see a little red arrow point to 100 ASA. To change that, you pull the ring up, turn it, and pop it down on the whatever speed you want. We've got the shutter button here inside this collar. The collar has an A and an R, harking back to the old Leica days, so advance and rewind. There's a little groove there pointing to A, and then to rewind the film you simply turn it to R, and that disconnects the mechanism and you can rewind the film. It required a special cable release which screws down over inside the collar and over there, because as you can see there's no screw hole in the top. Over here we've got a frame counter that counts sets to 0 automatically when you open the back, and a little reminder here that says 36 or 20 exposures. Now these days it's either 24 or 36, but obviously there were some 20 exposure films back then. I can't remember them. I usually got 36, but yeah, so that does that. And there's your advance lever. Your speeds are around here. 60 is for flash synchronization, but it goes up to 1000. So you've got T and B, and then 1 second upwards. Okay, and then we've got the film advance here. On the sides, nothing but a couple of lugs. On the front here, there is a flash connector. Now, to take the back off, there's a little tab on the bottom. You get your fingernail, pull it out, rotate it, slide it off. Whoops. Okay, so there's the back of the camera. The motor drives connect up with this unit here, and obviously the back has to come off so it can take the large 250 shot backs and that sort of thing. And in the motor drives are separate units, a whole range of 2 or 3 different motor drives. So that's the back. Now the shutter is a traditional horizontal shutter. but it's titanium, very thin black titanium. So you're never going to get holes or anything in it like you would with some cloth shutters and things. So it's very durable. I mean, these were made to take a lot of shots. They're very. I'll just put the back on. Slides nice into place. Just rotate that. Fold it back. Okay, we've got the eyepiece on the back. Also inside the eyepiece is another version of the needle and the circle, so you line them up. On the bottom we've got the lock for the back, an ASA reminder, black and white in colour. You just turn that to what you want to put it on, whatever films in the camera, and a nice strong metal, well located tripod mount. Well, basically that's about it. It's, in a lot of ways, it's very much like every other SLR, but heavier. So it's a beautiful camera. It is a legend, and if you're prepared to pay the premium, so you can say you own a legend, then it's probably worth it. But personally, I'd get the Nikomat Ftn instead, one of the FTNs. It's I'll just show you one of those. The build quality is superb. Nothing comes off it, so the prism stays there. It's got the advantage of once you pull the advanced lever out, it turns the metering system on. The metering system only takes one battery as against the Nikon F's two. They are 1.35, but there's ways around that. The aperture preview is on top in this one. The light meter repeater is over here and also in the viewfinder. Takes exactly the same range of lenses. It's got a far more convenient back in as much as you pull it down, pop it open. It's got the later Copal square type shutter, so it's vertical. But once again, it's black titanium, so the quality is there. The build quality of these cameras is absolutely superb, just like the Nikon F. The only real difference, apart from all the fact that comes apart and this one doesn't, is the speeds are around this collar here. So there's a little tab on the other side, so you set the speeds there around, a bit like an Olympus. Olympus did that as well. But other than that, the lens removes the same way. You've got a mirror lock up, you've got the self-timer, and the quality of this, if you handle the two, it's very hard to discriminate between them as far as build quality is concerned. The Nikon F might have its internal mechanicals maybe a bit more rugged, but these are beautifully built too. So anyhow, so well, look, as I say, you're going to pay a premium for the Nikon F. You're probably going to get a good Nikomat for possibly half the price. In similar state of quality, you know, been well looked after, in good shape and everything. You'll probably pay twice as much for the Nikon F as you will for the Nikomat. So look, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe. In fairness, I'll probably be only doing another 2 or 3 videos, so I've just about run out. Anyhow, look, it costs you nothing to subscribe and helps the channel. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.